Hello friends, in this video we will be discussing about the special cases of function overloading. Means that what care we need to take during the implementation of function overloading. So we know the rules because we have already discussed the rules of function overloading in the video in which we have discussed about the concept of function overloading. But just to recollect, whenever function call will be bound with function definition, compiler follows following steps. So what are those steps? So first of all, compiler will try to find the exact match for the parameters. If exact match doesn't found, then compiler tries to convert arguments into other built-in types. This is considered to be built-in type conversion and tries to find the unique match. If unique match doesn't found, or we can say more than one match found after type conversion, then compiler generates ambiguity error. And if not a single match found for a particular function call, then compiler generates an error. Now we try to understand the concept of ambiguity here. So first of all, we have a function named as display with one integer argument, another function with the same name with one float argument, and another function with the same name as display with double as an argument. So in total we have three functions. We have overloaded display function here with one integer, float and double arguments. Now during call I have a character data type and I am calling function display, with character. Now as per the rule, first of all compiler will try to find out the exact match. Now exact match here is what? The argument which we have during the call is character. But if you look at the definition of all three functions having name display, we don't have any such function with character as an argument. So exact match doesn't found. Now compiler tries to convert this character data type into appropriate built-in type. So character will be converted into integer. So second step is primary built-in conversion from character to integer will be performed and try to find for the match. Now system will check or compiler will check. Now it is converted from character to integer. Do we have any function named as display with integer argument? So yes, we have this, and compiler founds the match. So this particular function call will bound with this definition, and this is how function call and function definition will be bound with each other. So this is fine, no ambiguity here. Okay, but now in the second case, the same particular things we have, only the change I have made is I have only two functions with the same name. I have overloaded display with float argument and double argument. No integer argument I have. And the same thing what I am trying to do, I am trying to call this function. It will check for the exact match. So character, but we don't have any character, so that it will perform the second step, that is primary built-in conversion, which is character to integer. So this will be converted into integer now, but in this particular definitions we don't have any function named as display and having integer argument. So second step is also not working over here. So the third step is system will tries for the secondary conversion. Secondary conversion means it will try from character to float or so. But during secondary conversion, the thing is character can be converted into float and character can be converted into double. So in secondary conversion, character can be converted into float as well as double. So when system tries to convert it into float or double and performs or try to find the exact match, system will be confused. Why? Because this particular character can be converted into float as well as it can be converted into double. So now which function out of these two should be called? So system, your compiler is confused, and so that it will generate the error. So this error is considered to be ambiguity error. Why ambiguity? Because system or compiler is confused, because there are two match found for character to float and character to double. So this is considered to be ambiguity error. Now when this type of errors can be generated, so for that we try to understand one concept. So first of all, here in this table, these particular things are the actual arguments. Like in the previous example, we have actual argument is character. Then we need to understand this concept. This is primary built-in conversion. Primary built-in conversion means what? If no exact match for character doesn't found, then system will try to convert character into primary built-in conversion first. And if this definition doesn't found, then it will try to find any of this. Now important term is any of this. Okay. So here if you have character, it will exactly check for the character argument. But if you don't have character argument, then compiler will try to find function with integer argument. And if integer argument exists, then that particular function call will be called or bound with the definition of integer argument. But if character is not there as well as integer is not there, then system will go for secondary built-in conversion, means it will try to find any of this, and if any of this is being found, then that particular call will be bound with this. But the problem comes here. If character is not there, integer is not there, and among this many any one more than one, like any two exist, then ambiguity is being generated. The same thing we understood with the previous example. Just take it again, that here character, no character found, it will be converted into integer but no exact match for integer found. Then this will be performing compiler will be performing secondary conversion. So in secondary conversion, what are the possible options? So it can be short integer, long integer, float, double, long double. These are possible conversion option. So the problem here is possible options in that we have float and we have double. There are two possible options exist. So compiler is confused and it is generating ambiguity error. Whereas in this case ambiguity error will not be generated. Why? Because since we have three possible options available, but first of all this character will be converted into integer and it will check for integer only. But if integer is not there, then only it will be checking for the secondary conversion, and which are float, double, short, long and all. Okay. So likewise for short integer, short can be converted into integer first, and if short and integer both are not there, then any of this can do, but only one. There should be unique. If more than one, then it will generate the ambiguity error. Likewise for all the data type I have mentioned, if integer, then exact match is for integer, and primarily it will not be converting to any particular type, it requires integer only. It will directly move to the secondary type, that any one out of this can do, but it should be unique. And likewise for all the data types I have mentioned, you can try with some example, then only you can able to understand this concept. So here we need to keep in mind that system will try to find for the exact actual parameter. If it is not found, then it will try to find primary built-in conversion. If primary built-in conversion doesn't found, then it will try to convert using secondary built-in conversion. But in secondary built-in conversion there are two cases. One case is only one function with secondary built-in conversion exists, then definitely it will be called. But the second case is if there are more than one function exist with secondary built-in conversion, then compiler will be confused and ambiguity error will be generated. Now another thing we need to keep in mind, that default argument also matters over here. So what do we mean by default argument? We have already discussed this concept in one of the video. So if you don't know the concept of default argument, I request all of you to go to view that video and try to understand that, and then come back to this, so that it will easy to understand this concept. So here we have three functions: display with two parameters, display with one parameter, and display with one parameter, but data type is float. But here you can see in two parameter, one parameter is considered as default argument. So when I am trying to call this, I am trying to call this display 10.3f, means this is my float value. Then it will check for the exact match. So yes, exact match is there. We have a display function with float, so this will be called. But problem comes in this: display with one argument, and that is integer. Now this particular function call can be bound with this as well as this, as well as this. Why? Because it is having one integer argument, here it is having two integer arguments, but one is by default considered as default argument. So this function can be called using one argument also. So when you have this type of particular case, then this particular call will again generate the ambiguity. Why? Because this function call can bound with this as well as this. So you need to take care of this particular case also. Now when we have arrays and pointers, again there may be chances of generating ambiguity or the problem. So we have two functions, sum of array. In one we have passed pointer as an argument, in another we have passed array as an argument. Then we are calling the function sum of array using passing array. Now you must need to know that whenever we are passing this array, we are passing a, that means we are not passing data, we are passing address, we are passing the starting address of an array. So that if you pass array or pointer as an argument, the meaning is you are passing address, not the value, so that these two are same. Here you are passing address, here also you are passing address. So this both the functions are considered to be same. So when you try to execute this particular code, compiler will prompt you an error, that is redefinition error. Why? Because already a function with passing address exists. Suppose we consider this is being declared first and you are declaring this again, then it will prompt that already a function with passing address exists. So this is again you need to take care. Next case, whenever we are using type specifier, constant or volatile in my program during the function overloading, you need to take care. Like we have three functions. In one we are passing constant integer a, another integer a, and third one is volatile integer a. Now here type specifiers like constant and volatile are ignored during binding of call and definition, because it has only the meaning that this particular argument cannot be changed. In this case argument is only one, which is integer type. The meaning constant is added to it. The meaning is that integer argument cannot be changed, but argument is only one. So here in this case one argument, here also one argument, here also one argument, and all the three arguments are of integer type, and in all the three functions the name is same. So since constant and volatile type of type specifiers are ignored, it will generate ambiguity. In declaration, it will consider this all these functions are declared already. When you try to declare this function, compiler will generate error over here. Why? Because already a function with the same name and same number of argument already exist. So it will prompt declaration error. So what sort of questions can be asked? More or less from this, you may be given some snippet and you need to identify what can be the output, or you may be given a snippet and you are supposed to identify the error in the code and you are supposed to correct it. So this type of questions can be asked. So thank you for watching video. If you have any doubt, you can write me on shikshansetu@gmail.com. If you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe the channel.